Yeah, you're really throwing a lot on me today.
It's almost as if you do the intro every time.
You were supposed to be the interview intro guy.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy. You know what?
Sorry,
I'm gonna pull my executive power as your boss. You're gonna do the intro.
Okay, I'll do the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tournament Committee podcast. Today we are pleased to be joined by 2026 JPT champion Luke Bernakevitch, our most recent champion in the junior boys division, winning the JPT BC Showcase at Chilliwack Golf Club by a whopping 17 strokes at -10 to capture his first ever JPT victory. Luke, how are we doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. Happy you can join us. This is a very special guest.
Yeah, it's nice to get some players on and kind of showcase some of the best players we got around here. 10 under over 3 days is not too easy, so that was pretty impressive.
Not bad.
Yeah, humble. You know what's funny, and I think we might have talked about this on a prior podcast, is when we were setting up the course a few days before the tournament, we ran into Jerome from Golf BC, and he's like, "Who do you guys think's going to win?" And we're like, "I'm like, I have no idea." He's like, "Keep an eye on Luke because he's a stud." And he was right. I texted him after, and I was like, "Yeah, you called that on Luke. He played incredible this week." So thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate it.
No, yeah. Thank you, guys.
And we're going to get into this later. We couldn't have got you at a better time. As I was doing research for this podcast, a article from 1 week ago came up that you got an albatross, a hole-in-one on a par 4 during a high school event, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
I know we were gonna get more into detail about that later, but congratulations, that's unreal. Want to tell us about that a little bit?
Thank you. Yeah. Absolutely. It was like the second round of a high school event on the island. And I was just, it was my second to last hole. And I was playing garbage that day, just so bad. And I went and I just was like, oh, this is drivable par 4, like 310 yards or something, and canned it. It's pretty cool.
Did you see it go in?
I did not see it go in. I heard the pin because it one hopped in. And then my coach and one of the other helpers were up by the green. And they were like, "Oh my goodness."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so even then, were you kind of like, okay, are they just messing with me, or were you pretty sure?
No, it was so good and right at it that I was like, oh, it actually did go in. And then we just sprinted up, me and two of the kids in my group, and we were going at it. It was awesome.
Oh my god, that's incredible, man.
Yeah, Blake's the only one with the hole-in-one here. I'm sure he's going to mention that at some point, but none of us even sniffing a par 4.
Didn't even mention it. You had to.
You were going to. Don't act like you weren't.
Yeah.
You made the hole-in-one on the par 4, the albatross. Did you celebrate after? What would you do after the round, or even right when you made it? Obviously, you celebrated pretty hard. But what kind of walk us through what happened after you did it?
Yeah, so I had one more hole to play. I went to the next hole. Made double on the hole, but that's great. And then we had to walk back as the shotguns. We were walking back across the entire course, and I was just jittery, basically. What just happened? And then we had a banquet after, burger buffet, which is great, and free drinks, so I didn't have to pay for drinks.
Nice.
Which is a bonus. And then just came home, hung out with the family. It's pretty fun. My dad couldn't believe it. He was like, "What just happened?"
That's obviously more rare than a hole-in-one. That's one of the most rare things in golf. So to have that, at your young age, like Shazzy just said, me and him don't even have a hole-in-one. So congrats, buddy. That's awesome.
Hopefully you didn't lose the ball in that double on the next hole. We've had that in the past.
No.
Someone got a hole-in-one and put it in the water on the next hole.
So I forgot to switch it out, and I teed off on the next hole, but striped the tee shot. So
There you go.
I was okay.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing at the one event a few years ago. Someone got a hole-in-one, forgot to switch it out, put it in the water on their tee shot on the next hole. They're like, "Oh, I lost the ball already."
Oh my god.
That's so
Great
bad.
job, dude. Great job. I don't remember who that was, but it does not surprise me.
Also, what I did learn as well is that your dad is actually a pro as well. Do you have any bragging rights over him? Does he have a few hole-in-runs of his own, or any on par 4s?
Yeah, he has a few more than a few. He probably has like 10 or 11 or something.
Oh, geez.
But he does not have any on par four, so he was kind of jealous.
Oh,
So
that's perfect.
Was that your first hole in one?
that was my second on an actual golf course. I had a couple on par three courses. I don't know if we're counting those or not, but
Well, yeah, I would count it, but
Yeah.
So how would you have none?
Man, that might be some of the best bragging rights to have over your golf pro dad. Is that
Yeah.
you might have a few dozen hole-in-ones, but you at least have one on the par four, eh?
exactly. What else can you ask?
Yeah, that's unreal, man. What was your reaction from the rest of the playing partners, like especially the guys who just saw you? Because didn't you double? Did you double before as well? So you went-
Right.
Double. Nice.
Yeah.
what was the reaction to your playing partners who probably thought they actually had a chance after that double, and then just for you to sink at the next hole?
Yeah, it was kind of wild. I mean, they were pretty good buddies of mine.
Oh yeah,
So we were like all just kind of like having lots of fun. I mean, I've never run so fast in my life, man.
yeah.
Got up there and we were like, what just happened? And then just couldn't stop like smiling, basically. All of us were like, what the heck? That's the coolest thing.
Dude, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to talk more about the whole one, but I was going to move on a little bit and just kind of ask. We touched on your dad being a golf pro. How does that kind of like? I think that's helped you in junior golf. So I know growing up, my dad was. If he listens to this, not somebody very nice, but he's probably the most useless guy when it came to help me around a golf course. So like, how much do you think that's helped you? 'Cause even like at Chilliwack when we were having dinner, you guys were in the clubhouse after the round, and your dad were kind of going through some game plan and stuff like that. So like, how much do you think that's helped you?
Yeah, it's been great. Just having like being around the game as a young kid, especially, having access to all the stuff that he has access to. I grew up in it and at the golf course constantly because he works there. So it was like, oh, I'm going to go to the golf course with dad and he'll drive me home. And then he's obviously one of my coaches. He's a great coach. He knows a lot about the swing. But I feel like it's just fun to like have somebody that like he's played golf at a really high level before. Like he played a couple years on the Canadian tour. So he obviously knows how to play tournament golf and what the mindset's like. At the JPT at Chilliwack, we were just kind of talking about like where I could have been a little bit better. And then the kind of what I need to do in the future. I was obviously I felt pretty good that week. There wasn't a whole lot that was going poorly, I'd say, but it was just like, oh, I shouldn't have hit there on that hole because I didn't have a great angle or that kind of thing.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome. I was gonna say like the one day I was gonna say if you have things to complain about, that's crazy because the one round I watched you birdied 3 of the first 4, and then you lipped out for birdie on 6, like full horseshoe, and then you I don't know, you could have birdied like 7 or 8 of the first 9 holes from what I saw. That was crazy.
That's about right.
Yeah.
Could have played better though.
Yeah, I could have played better.
Always room for improvement, boys.
Yeah, exactly. This is why we run tournaments, don't play in them, because if I would have shot 1 under, I'm like, dude, I'm never beating that.
Yeah.
So obviously we've been talking about it. You won our JPT BC Showcase at Chilliwack about a month ago now-ish. 17 shot win over second place. So like I was kind of watching you basically every single day from about 14 to 18. And you were just striking the ball. I was like, he's dialed right now. But like walk us through that week. What went well? And like, was it just one of those weeks where everything just clicked and you just really never had any worries out there? You were just on the ball on every single shot.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in golf, there's never a week where it's perfect. There's always like a few shots where you're like, oh, that wasn't great. Pretty funny. The 14th to 18th holes were like my worst holes all week. So you didn't get to see the good stuff. But I felt like I struck the ball really well. I could have been a lot better if I'm going to be honest, but it was enough to be like, oh, I played well. I played solid. The ball striking part was just great. And then the putts didn't quite fall, but they were really close to falling. Which is something that I always look for. Like, am I hitting good putts? Whether they go in or not is somewhat irrelevant. It's nice when they go in, but if you're hitting good putts, that's all you can do.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's kind of funny because when I was watching him 14 to 18, I was like, he's pretty dialed. But if those are your worst holes of the week, that shows how well you were playing that
We
week.
were just looking at our live score and seeing, this guy's 10 deep right now, so he must be playing well.
Yeah.
This is kind of random, but it was on 11 the one day. You were behind the tree on the approach shot, and I had my cart kind of parked somewhere in the way. I was like, "Is that in your way?" You're like, "No." I was like, "Where is he planning on playing the shot?" You just put it over the tree. I was like, "I didn't know that was a possibility." Like that was not in my plans. And you're like, and one of the kids asked where you want to stand. You're like, "Dude, stand anywhere." And he just stood behind the tree. Like, okay, interesting. I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
It's a heck of a shot. That was a tough pin too. It was on the back ledge there.
That was a really tricky pin.
It's funny. We all have personal anecdotes from watching you play throughout those 3 days. Because as soon as we didn't know much about you going into the event, and then obviously we heard from, as Ty mentioned, from Golf BC, and Jerome mentioned that you were a player to watch going in. And so then so I think it was day 2 or 3. I went out and watched you for like one hole. I think it was on 4, the par 3 on the front there. And you just missed your birdie putt. I think you just end up short. I think it was right in the heart. You just missed it. And then I had to like move on. I ended up looking over your score. That was the only hole out of the first like 5 holes you didn't birdie. I was like, of course I missed like his one par of the like the front 9. I was like, dang. But
Yeah. So in the last calendar year, you've picked up some pretty good results. Not only with our event in Chilliwack, but also the BC U17 championship last year. Where has your game developed the most over the last couple of years? Like, what would you say, you're getting better at every single day?
Yeah, honestly, like my short game and chipping and wedge play and putting, like putting's been the biggest thing for me. Like I went from making like not a lot to being like, oh, I'm pretty confident in my putting, and I'm like, anything short is like it's going in. Basically, it's how I feel. And just developing a way to like be good at the small stuff. And then just consistency with the driver as well, like learning when to hit and not as well. The big game planning thing. Just not going out there hitting driver everywhere. Chilliwack was a week where I hit a lot of drivers, I felt like, for what I normally do. And then just like mentally, like seen coaches and whatever about like how to play it, how to move on, how to stick with stuff, really helps as well, I think.
I have a question about the third round. We talked about this in your post round interview already. So you had I forget what the exact breakdown heading into the final round. You had a pretty significant lead, and then you ended up doubling the first hole. Can you kind of walk us through that as well, and just how you bounced back from that? You had such a big lead at that point. Was there ever like okay, I need to lock in here? Or?
Yeah, like going into the rounds, I was like, okay, like I have a big lead, but like it's still a round of golf. I gotta go play my own game. First hole, I hit a great tee shot, and then it was a front left pin, and there's a tree probably like 5 yards left the green and 20 yards short. And I had a long iron in, it's par 5, and I just caught the tree, walked up there and couldn't find my ball. And so I was like, okay, well, we looked for like 3 minutes and whatever, and I was like, not there. So I had to walk back, hit the same shot again, found my ball, hit it to like 5 feet and missed the putt. But I was like, I played a pretty solid hole, and I'm like, okay, well, it's going to happen at some point. It's the first like bad hole I've had all week, or second maybe. And I was like, after that, I'm like, okay, let's just like make some pars and make a birdie before I make another bogey. Just like, that's just how I want to play it. Like I'm going to make pars until I make a birdie, and then hopefully get on a streak and get going.
Awesome.
From this whole thing, it sounds like you have a pretty good like mental game going into it. You have a pretty good mindset going into stuff. Like, that's something you like actively like work on, or you just kind of chill dude and it nothing really phases you? Like how does that come naturally, or?
Yeah, I'd say like I'm pretty chill. Like I pretty go with the flow kind of guy, but it's definitely something that I've worked on with my Team BC coaches, and they've provided definitely like experts. I know that I saw a guy a couple weeks ago at the launch camp, and just seeing people and seeing what they do, and like playing golf with better players than me and noticing how they treat things. has helped, but I feel like I've been better and better from what was like, I've never been bad mentally, but it's just gotten a little bit better every year, every day, really.
Nice. Yeah, I asked that because like I think I'm a pretty chill dude in most things, but then as soon as I got on a golf course as a junior golfer, like it was not good. So it's something that I wish I would have worked on. But that's good stuff.
Yeah. So looking ahead at the rest of your season here, I'm sure you've got a lot of tournaments lined up, but what are your goals for the rest of the 2026 season?
Okay, I actually have a sheet right here with my goals. I'll just
There you go.
So every year I write down like a list of goals for the season, result based, but there's steps and processes to that. But I want to win a next gen championship this year. It's definitely one of the goals because it's a big event. It's Lager ranked pretty well, which is great. And then I want to win a provincial championship again this year, whether that be defending my U17 title or the BC Junior, which would be a nice one as well. And then going into like I have an exemption into the Canadian Junior this year, and it's at a course that my dad grew up playing a lot. So it's just gonna be a fun time out there. Hopefully, my goal for there is to finish in the top 10. Because I have a few more years to play it, and it would just be fun to get a good result going there. And then just kind of see what I can do for the rest of the season. Get a little bit better every tournament I play, get some experience. Hopefully, do pretty well, and get it going.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So this week for you is a pretty big, like with next gen's coming up this week. So this is an event that you've circled, kind of going into it. Like this is one I'm gearing up for. How's your game feel going into it?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I've never hit a golf ball better right now.
I love to hear that. Worry for everybody else.
That should be scary for everyone listening to this.
Yeah. The iron play and wedges and driver are just like they're doing great right now. It feels great. I've worked a lot over the winter to try and get it to a point where it feels good. I have been playing well recently. The JPT kind of kicked it off pretty well for me. And then just like if I can get a week where I putt well and chip well, it's gonna be a good week. I'm really excited for it. Nice. Go out, do my best. Hopefully something turns out, and we'll see.
So,
that's awesome.
Question: if you're feeling the best you've ever felt now, and you won our event last month at -10, how were you feeling then, before you won by 17 strokes?
I felt pretty good.
He's been in a good spot for a while.
Yeah.
I've been hitting it good for a while. That week was like I had been not hitting it great for a couple weeks before that, and then like the 3 days running into it, I had played at a course that wasn't my home course, and I shot like 4 or 5 under something, and I was like, oh, okay, we're back. Like I can score again, and really like I feel like my ball striking never really gets like really, really bad, but I just don't score as well. And so having that round going into it where I like scored really well was nice and a bit of a confidence boost. And then I hadn't played the course in like probably 3 or 4 years. And I went out and played the day before. And I felt like I was playing pretty well, and I was hitting the ball in the right spots, and it just felt like I was like, oh, okay, like I can play this golf course well. And got out the first day, just played like a so-so round of golf and scored pretty well. And I was like, okay, it's great.
Yeah, it must be nice.
That's awesome. Well, good luck this week too, man. We're all rooting for you at the next gen.
I'll be following, especially if he's feeling the best he's ever felt. Like I gotta see how low this guy goes.
Yeah, for sure. A couple fun questions, and then we'll get you out of here. What was the best round of your life?
Best round of my life. I have a 63 at my home club. This was last September. And I was playing with a group of guests, or there was a reciprocal group of guys. And I was just kind of touring them on the course, and I was like, I got off to a start. I was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 under through front 9, and then slowed down in the middle, and then I like birdied like 4 of the last 5 holes to shoot like 7 under. And it just was like, it was one of those days where everything was going. It was great.
Yeah,
That's
that
awesome.
must be cool. Is that the course record or no?
No, course record 61. I was close.
Close. Yeah, you're getting there. If we would have had you playing there was at one point I thought the course record was in jeopardy at Chilliwack when you birdied 3 of the first 4, and then I saw you lip out on 6. I was like, oh, okay, we might have a problem here.
Did you end up having to talk to the course about? Did you end up asking?
I noticed like on the way to Avery's office there was like a like the scorecard was up there, so I saw there was 65 or something like that. I could be wrong. I don't remember fully, but it was 65.
I could have
So we did technically move up a couple tees, so I don't know if it would have counted, but I think we would have made it happen.
Luke's gonna head to Chilliwack this weekend just to get that.
Yeah. Screw next shot. We're gonna get Chilliwack.
Question: Is there someone that you could identify? Maybe it's on any other tournament or the high school circuit of like you have a friendly competition with, like someone that you go into every event with, that you see them like, I really want to beat them, or just like a friend that you try to have a rivalry with.
Yeah. There's a couple kids from the island that I play with like probably twice a week. And they're both on Team BC with me. Owen Bolak and Ewan Baldwin.
Oh, very nice.
Ewan played in the JPT event the week before. I won, and they're just great. They're really great kids. Super fun to play with, but I really hate losing to them. So they're always people that are like, oh, I really want to beat them every time I play.
Yeah, you almost won at a university that we could.
Yeah, it's just just got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ewan like just missed a birdie putt on 18 to force a playoff too.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're great.
I was gonna just ask, like in general, if there was one course or even just like tournament, like if there's an event is there an event that you really want to play that if you can get an exemption to anything that you'd want to play in, either pro, amateur, whatever it might be?
Yeah. If there's like any event, like PGA Tour events included.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I would love to play in the Masters, but that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I would love to play like USM or US Junior. US Junior is one that is circled on my calendar this year. Hopefully get into that.
Qualifier at Chilliwack, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. That's a good side. Love it.
Course record watch that day.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll have you playing back tees. So.
All right, man. I got one more question, then we'll wrap it up here. If you could give a junior golfer who has recently gotten into competitive golf tournaments one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Yeah. I would say just like keep going with it. If you love it, just keep playing. Like if you don't love it, you don't need to play. But like for me, I just love playing golf, especially competitively. And if you love it enough, you're gonna do pretty well at it. And like I wouldn't be crazy obsessed with your results at the start. Just go play, have fun, learn how to be effective, and just keep playing, practicing, doing whatever to get as good as possible.
Yeah, I think the not focusing on results is a big one, especially as a junior, because pretty much every junior does.
Yeah.
That's awesome, buddy. We really appreciate you coming on the podcast. It was great to meet you a couple weeks ago at Chilliwack.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see you again this year. And like we said earlier, man, good luck this weekend. We'll be rooting you on.
Yeah, thank you guys very much for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.